Hey there, this is Clay with RelationshipInnerGame.com. I'm the world's leading expert in breakups for high achievers. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about something that somebody actually asked us not too long ago, which is in the apparent contradiction between reconnecting with your ex, forming an emotional connection, and having an ulterior motive, right? Like if you go into the conversation, you're like, all right, I'm gonna have like an emotional connection here. Like this is what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a deep emotional connection here. Like, is that a contradiction? And because I mean, we all know that trying to force something to happen with your ex, whether it's something big like, hey, I'm gonna get together with you and we're gonna have some sort of conversation. I'm gonna do my best to like steer it towards us talking about getting back together or something like that. We all know that doesn't work. I mean, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've probably tried that at some point in the past, and if it did work, you wouldn't be watching this video. But what about other smaller, minor things like, for example, just wanting to have a conversation with your ex and reconnect? Okay, so this is gonna trigger a little bit less of that reactance than something big, like trying to get back together or have that conversation. But it still can cause a little bit of pullback, especially when you're bringing a lot of expectation into the mix. And I want you to know that this doesn't necessarily have to be a contradiction. It's not necessarily like, hey, if I want to reconnect with you, then I'm inherently attached to outcome, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. And the way that you do that is that you stay curious about what your ex's experience is, okay? So you're not trying to reconnect or have a deep emotional bond or, anything else like that. You're just simply curious. You're just like, hey, there's this person over here. I used to be in a relationship with that person. I care a lot about this person. I haven't talked to this person in a period of time. I don't know, maybe it's been a day, maybe it's been a month, maybe it's been longer, I don't know. But there's been a period of time that's passed, and I'm curious. Like, what's new with this person? What's been happening in your life? How have things been going? What hasn't been happening? What that thing you said you were gonna do, like, how'd that turn out? Stuff like that. That's curiosity. It's not like I'm attached to, I'm gonna tell some jokes and she's gonna laugh and she's gonna like touch my chest ever so gingerly and she'll fall madly, and like, it's not like that at all. I'm just curious about this person over here. Like, what's new with you? Like, I have no idea what your experience is. I have no idea what you've been going through. I have no idea what's happened since we last touched base, and I care about you and I want to know what's going on. Like, that is kind of the mindset that you want to have. And notice how in that mindset there isn't this like attachment to trying to form an emotional connection. It's just curiosity, right? But if you bring enough curiosity to that interaction, oftentimes what you'll notice is that the connection will naturally start to develop, right? So you'll say like, oh, how is that thing you said was gonna happen last week? And then they'll say, and then you say, oh, really? That's really interesting. Like, what did that make you feel like when you were up in front of that group of people talking about the thing? And then they'll tell you, I don't know about you, but I would be like really nervous because public speaking is really difficult for me. There was this one time in fourth grade, I had to give a public speaking thing in front of the class, and I was shaking so much, my voice was quivering the whole time. I was so embarrassed. You can just go on like that and have this like back and forth thing where there's just curiosity, you sharing your experiences, more curiosity, you sharing your experiences, them sharing their experience, all of that. And the connection will naturally develop. You don't have to try and force it. You don't have to like be sort of attached to it. But if instead you can let go of the idea that you're like trying to get this connection and instead just be curious about the other person, the connection will naturally arise, okay? I hope that makes sense. And the second thing that you can do to help you in this situation is to, again, detach yourself from your own motives, your own agenda, right? So, as people who are watching this YouTube channel, you want to do things like save your relationship with your ex, have a great connection, do stuff like that, right? Those are things that you want to do. And that's fine that you want to do it, but you have to like let go of that agenda in the present moment, right? So yeah, there's this person over here, you're attracted to them, you want to be in a relationship with them, that's really cool and everything like that. But you have to let go of that and just focus on interacting with that person. Focus on understanding what that person is going through, what their experience is. Again, all that curiosity stuff, right? And the reason that you want to do that is because if you're really fixated on the relationship or the connection or on, you know, getting them to kiss you or have sex with you or whatever it might be, then your agenda is basically like, hey, F you, I don't care how you feel, I just want to talk about getting back together. I don't care that, you know, your grandfather died. I just want this conversation to go in the way where you and I are having a talk about getting back together, right? And that doesn't feel good. I mean, obviously you're not going to just say that unless you're like a total asshole. But when you have this ulterior motive of like, yeah, it's really tough that your grandfather died, and you know, I want you to know that I'm here for you, and if we were in a relationship together, I would be here for you a whole lot more. Like, you know, when you say stuff like that, it's kind of like under the surface, it's like, okay, yeah, you just basically said F you to my feelings, and you're just trying to force this agenda. And that doesn't feel good, right? That really doesn't feel good, even if, you know, we're not like overtly saying that. So keep that in mind, and I think that will help you overcome this challenge of, or this seeming contradiction of trying to reconnect with your ex while also being free from attachment to outcome, okay? So again, this has been Clay Andrews with RelationshipInnerGame.com. And if you'd like to learn more about how to reconnect with your ex, how to get back together with your ex, and how to form a strong foundation so that the two of you can start a new relationship together on a clean slate, then head on over to our website, RelationshipInnerGame.com. Thanks.